flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Modern Military's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we're gonna talk about New Age movement. Now it just came to my head for some reason. Now we're gonna talk about the New Age movement. Now you got a lot of old civilizations, old oversouls that's gonna play characteristics and duties and obligations out of lower souls, which aka you, to play out old lights, old myths, old civilizations. You see what I'm saying? And they're gonna argue why you shouldn't get into the New Age movement. But here's the main issue right here. If you have any common sense or if you have any spiritual discernment, here's the problem. The key thing here is New Age movement. Now, if you're clinging on to something old, you're not going to move in or understand any new territory. You see what I'm saying? Now, the reason why they stuck into these realms of reality is because they think that the older it is, the more real it is. But you have to understand this. These are the same civilizations that had a New Age movement. Every time there was something new, eventually after time, that's what became the civilization. For an example, you look at Jesus, shit like that. When Jesus came, that wasn't something that people already knew. That was something that was new. So everybody hated it. Every time something new come, somebody hated it. And you can go to every civilization, every religion, everyone. Every time something new come, somebody hated it. So what that let you know? That let you know that every civilization had a New Age movement. So when you got civilizations that's in the future, aka the present, and they look towards past, they look towards past situations, right? They look towards past lights, past myths, past energies, right? Then they're running from the New Age movement and going on to the previous New Age movement. Because everything is in the present. There's really no past or future. So I'm just going to play on words for y'all a little bit. They running from the New Age movement and clinging on to the past New Age movement. And since it's the past, it's no longer new. So these people are being in spiritual bondage, spiritual jail, being consumed, being absorbed by old gods, old theologies, old things that don't work anymore, but want to be experienced in the New Age. You see what I'm saying? So I need you to understand, I don't care how you feel, like, be careful what you say reawakens you. See, when I watch things and things of that nature, I never got reawoken. You see what I'm saying? I never got reawoken. I always got, now I can't speak for everybody, but this is how it was for me. It's people who just put into words, who know how to put into words what I'm already doing. So it's just like when I run into videos and hear people talk, I just hear a bunch of shit of people saying shit that they just reminded me of what I've already been doing. And they didn't remind me. The reword ain't attached in my realm of reality. It's like people are just explaining what I already do, and I get to smile that people understand it. You see what I'm saying? I was like, damn, there's people that really get it. And then you have it's a lot of people on earth who feel like, oh, I've been reawakened. This person reawoken me. This person reminded me. You see what I'm saying? See, there's a thin line between someone explaining what you already do and someone reawakening you. You see what I'm saying? There's a thin line between the two. Now me, I could only express what I already been doing. So if someone who know how to use their left brain real good and know how to put it into words, that's great. You see what I'm saying? But I didn't need none of those languages. I didn't need none of those words to express that. I don't even have to know about this shit to even know what I'm doing, because I know. See, and that's the difference with knowledge and learning and getting educated, because I just know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to go back to nothing. I don't have to understand certain things, certain laws, certain chemic laws. I just know. So when somebody come around with this who got reawoken, what they gonna be like is, they're gonna be like this. Well, this thing reminded me what you already can do. This thing reawoken you what you already can do. And learning these processes and learning these things and help you understand better on how to get within yourself. See, no. Then that means you ain't that. What you clinging on is that. And you need that. You need to resonate with that and vibrate with that. And that's what's going to help you ascend. See, you need a higher something to ascend. So that means just by fact, just by nature, that mean that you wasn't where you going. You're just going to where you're going. Opposed then to the person who already know, I was already at where I'm going. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of ways that these two different people want to look at things is in two different entirely ways. Two different ways. You see what I'm saying? It's two different ways. So this is the actual polar shift of understanding lower souls and oversouls and the balance scale. You know what I'm saying? When you are reawoken, you are a lower soul. When you are in the knowing, you are an oversoul. So when you know shit, you just know shit with discernment. So you can say, I don't give a fuck about nothing. Because you know what you should give a fuck about and you know what you shouldn't. When you're a person who's getting reawakened, you're still learning. So there's still things you have to get reawoken to. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's not to say the person who knows it all. They just know what they know. You see what I'm saying? So when you come with some information that you have learned or have been taught, 9 times out of 10, the person who knows what you've been taught. Because you had to been taught it. You see what I'm saying? The person who knows creates it. So what's been created has to be taught, has to been learned. The person who create has to learn their creation themselves. So, for an example, if I know I can do something, right? I just have to go do it. I can't. There's no example out there. There's no example out there for me to learn how to do it. I just do it. So when I do it, I start to learn the withdrawals and the goodness of what I'm doing. When I actually do it, that's when I learn what I can't do in that memory reality. That's when I start to learn what I can do in that memory reality. And when I take my friction and friction with this memory reality and create that portal, that portal I went in, that memory reality is created of those thoughts and the ideas and those vibrations of what I can and what I can't do, of the limits. But as an oversoul, I created that. So I know it. So when someone else want to experience that memory reality, who do they need? Me. Because I know it. I can tell them what's right or wrong. I can be the one that lead by example. I can be the light of that memory reality. I can be the crystallization of that memory reality. I can be the water and mist of that memory reality. Do you get what I'm saying? But the people who want to experience it, right? They learn it. Now look, they created their fiction, created a portal, and now they went into the hole of that memory reality. So now they're learning all of what you can and what you can't do of what I created, right? So now they're carrying that out. Now they may able due to the fact of how they're vibrating to themselves, they may be able to do something that I couldn't do, or they may able to do something better or not do something. But here's what's going on, right? It's still in my creation. So their energy is expanding the orbit energy of my creation, right? So they're still in my memory reality, expanding it, pushing the limits with whatever Neo this person is, or this woman or man is, however Neo in the matrix that they are. That's what it is. You see what I'm saying? So they expanding that shit. And the more and more people come in that shit, expand that shit to the point I got a whole realm of reality. I got a whole globe. You see what I'm saying? But you gotta understand that I knew this. Now, Anubis That's coming from the Ceres constellation. That's a dog when I was worshiping the Ceres spirits and shit like that. That's another video. But let's go back to now let's go back to the person who's taught or need to understand it. And then these will be the quickest people to be like, well, Kemet helped me. Ma'at maybe did this, or Jesus maybe do this, or Muhammad maybe do this, that, and third. And these are the laws you got to go to because it just make us good people, or this, that, and third. Okay, boom. Now, you see what I just explained? And I just did that from a human perspective by just knowing and just explaining the oversoul experience through the human experience. I just gave y'all a representation of what's happening in the spiritual realm, right? Now, think about you. You. Don't think about nobody else right now. Think about you. And I hope you watching this video right now. And this is not for my soul group. Y'all know about this is for the newcomers. You. Think about it now. Think about what you doing. Every time you say Ma'at. I don't give a fuck what you saying Ma'at about. Just every time you say Ma'at did this for me, or Tahuti did this for me, or Jesus did this for me, or think about what you're doing. You took your energy, created a portal, when you gave it an attention, went inside that realm of reality, right? And when you start to kick that shit to me, Oversoul, or when you start to kick that shit to my soul group, or when you start to kick that shit to other people, what are you doing? Who's getting more powerful? You or Ma'at? You or Tahuti? Now, you confuse between the right and left brain because the first argument you're going to go to is, these are not deities. These are not gods. These are just concepts. These are just words. These are just frequencies that you can go by to reawaken yourself. What the fuck do you think a deity or fucking God concept came from? A fucking word, a vibration, a frequency, a sigil, a glyph note. That's where the fuck a god, a deity came from. A demigod. That's what the fuck it is. And the simple fact that you're confused and you still and then you giving it even more energy and power by even that's you. You a high spiritual being, a high vibrational being who got the potential to be an oversoul, who got the potential to be even more than that, right? But you took all that insight, all that smart, all that energy, right, and absorbed it in that energy, and even came up with a fucking smart ass left brain intellectual concept using the reptilian vessel that you in to convince the people that it's not, you shouldn't even feel or think about it in that way because of this, because of that, because of this, because of that. You're still blinded. Filters. No, motherfucker. I see exactly, that's exactly what it is. So you're using your smartness to make the orb bigger. You expanded the limits. More ideas, more thoughts, more realms of realities around a way to look at it, which, no, that is the way to look at it. Motherfucker, it is a god, it's a deity. And the more power that you and more people like you give it, that motherfucker is a god. And the only motherfucker that's coming back and flying is that motherfucker. Then you're gonna have another motherfucker like me come down here who is the name Tahuti, who is the name Ma'at. And motherfucker, and you can't say that they ain't. Because they say I'm real, I have been reawoken. And you look at they fucking YouTube names and they name is fucking that. Now we fucking really dealing with Ma'at. Ma'at, this physical again though. These motherfuckers, so it's just like fucking you. You know what I'm saying? You got beings out here with oversouls. These motherfuckers ain't shit either. I'm fighting spirits and other shit. See what I'm saying? This battle is bigger than motherfucking Earth. Don't y'all know that? It's bigger than motherfucking time. Fuck time. The fuck you so worried about time for? You worried, oh, I'm about to get old. Oh, I gotta hurry up and get here. I gotta hurry up and get here. What the fuck you in a rush for? You in a rush to deteriorate? The fuck you in a rush about? Your ass ain't going nowhere fast. Believe that. Believe that. Because really, the higher you get, the less you move anyway. The higher you get, the less you move. To the point that you moving an inch. Like, it's not an inch. Just in this realm of reality, in this 3D physical, I'm going to just say it's an inch. But, for an example, comparing it to this realm of reality, the higher you is, your spirit just move an inch over. That's a whole nother realm of reality, nigga. A whole nother portal, a whole nother spectrum, nigga. And you had to go into that. But the higher it is, you just going into some way bigger shit. You know what I'm saying? It starts from the line and it just goes like boom, 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 boom. And it's really just negative and positive going in and out of each other. Fire and water going in and out of each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then what's under fire and water is going in and out of each other. Everything is going in and out of each other. And it's really, the higher you get, you just more in one place. You know what I'm saying? God only know itself because of you. But when I say God, I'm not even talking about the overall. We got to stop that. When people are talking, anytime you type in what is God or God on the internet, I need you to understand that it's a reptilian. It's the being that you in. The being that you in, they call it Draco. You see what I'm saying? And all the solar systems and things of that nature is like the beings you in. But you like this solar system is like a snake-like being too. It's like this solar system as the one you're specifically in, not the Milky Way, like the galaxy you in. But as far as as far as this whole Milky Way, this is a dragon. You see what I'm saying? It's a fucking dragon. You see it look like a dragon, but the beings inside it, solar systems. You know what I'm saying? And our solar system look like a snake. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it looked like a snake. So when we looking at like solar systems and shit like that, like in all these solar systems, and you got the Andromeda star constellation and things of that. We draw them out. They look like man and stuff like that. When you draw our solar system, it looks like a fucking snake. You see what I'm saying? So really, when you seeing, say you see like Ophiuchus, or you see like Aquarius, or you see like the serpents and shit like that, and you see like a being with their hands around a snake or something like that. That's really a being with their hand around our being. That's a constellation. That's a constellation that's wrapped around. So really, so like if we all constellations, right, and you're holding a snake in your hand, you're playing that out. That's like someone holding us. You're holding a solar system, right? And the beings within that solar system see it in their way. So we just see it in our way. But as outside looking in, other solar systems to draw us, our solar system to them, it look like a snake. And the snake is the snake that we see that Ophiuchus is holding, or things of that nature. That's how it look. That's a star constellation that look like a man. That really is a man in the realm of reality. The way it look. And ours, we like a snake. So there's higher conscious beings, higher conscious solar system beings than our solar system beings. But all beings have a head. You still have to look at a dog head. You still have to look at a snake head. So it's all conscious, but we know the conscious levels. So we know our conscious level in this solar system ain't the highest conscious level of all the solar systems. See what I'm saying? We got a snake-like solar system, snake conscious. So what you appear to think to be smart outside, look, the whole point is to always to become one. That's what when you find your soul group, you become a one. Then y'all all become the Oversoul. Now, same way how you are who you are right now, you are over something. There's many things inside of you. So you still you, right? Boom. So boom, when you become an Oversoul, there's something else other than that. And then you can become a planet, then you can become a star, then you can become a solar system, then you can become, you know what I'm saying? You become these things. But everything is smaller representations of these things, and we have to go through, get planted into different realms of realities and drink, and that's how we eat the juices of the natures, things of that nature. That's why if you're a person who only eat vegetables or only eat fruit, you eat like an animal. You know what I'm saying? You only gonna come back as an animal. You need to eat like a carnivore. Now I need to say, I'm not saying eat meat or anything. Like the whole point is to learn how, because you're not finna be eating. You always have to eat, but you're not finna be eating. You're learning to not eat anything, but you still have to eat things of the land. So you eat according to you. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a carnivore, you eat according to what animal spirit or what animal. That's why ain't no point in having animal totems and animal spirits if you don't eat meat. It doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? It's a different dynamic. It's all about vibrations and frequencies. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have some people who want to eat shark and a lot of people who don't eat shark. You got a lot of people who rather just eat seafood. A lot of people who just don't eat. It's a lot of mix because this is where what you need to be experiencing. You see what I'm saying? So if you having an experience of not eating meat or not eating nothing at all, plant-based, then that's you. But you may have had an experience before that made you have these ideas. But you can't be telling somebody who do eat meat that they shouldn't eat meat, because a person who eat a piece of chicken, that might help them 10 times more than you not eating a piece of chicken. And what you eating a leaf might help you 10 times more than them not eating that leaf. You see what I'm saying? It's different vibration frequencies, but it tells you what path you on. Now the whole key is to not even eat at all. Like me, I'm a breatharian, solitarian. I don't eat shit at all. I only eat when it's kind of necessary for the body. But the whole point is to learn and train how to just eat according to you, and to lessen your vibration of eating in general. You know what I'm saying? Because you always need to eat. It's just different forms of eating. The higher consciousness you're going. Like when you are a soul, as a soul, oversoul, you eat souls. You always going to eat something. So it's like, for an example, you're going to eat souls. So for an example, if you a person right now on Earth talk about, oh, you can't eat animals, you can only eat fruit or this, that, and third, then you're not getting ready to go to I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not getting ready to go to a soul, an oversoul, right? But mentally you can. But here's the thing: when you become an oversoul, you're gonna be that same person saying, "Oh, we shouldn't eat souls. We shouldn't eat. These are people. These are things that got blood just like us. These are things." Because as an oversoul, looking at vessels, you're gonna be like, "These are people. These are people that got vibrations just like us. Souls just like us." You see what I'm saying? So in so many ways, that's how you're vibrating. That's how your frequency is vibrating. So when you become an oversoul, you're gonna be telling other oversouls, "Oh, you shouldn't be eating those. You shouldn't be eating that. You should only be eating the particles of space. You should only be eating the particles of this location in space, or stuff like this naturally and shit like that, right?" And here's what happens. What happens when you become a vegetarian or something like that on Earth, right? You end up having to pay more of a pretty penny than someone else, than someone who just eat regular, right? It actually costs more to eat healthy than it does to just be in nature as like a dirty African or something like that, and you killing baboons and shit and just eating fruits and shit like that, right? It actually costs more you actually got to get up and work and actually spend more money and to eat healthy, well, so quote unquote more healthy, to eat more vegetarian, to be a vegetarian, right? So what is that telling you? It takes more money. So it's already backed by the energy of the intellectual beings that's running a lot of these realms of realities already. So that's telling you that's genetically modified also. The food that you eating, that you thinking that you're eating is vegetarian, and you think you're eating is genetically modified for you to go out and spend more theos, more money, because it made you think. It's like all of it is a game. See what I'm saying? So eat what the fuck you want to eat. You see what I'm saying? But you gotta do everything in moderation. Eat according. You know when you're eating too much of something. You know it'll fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? You know when you're doing too much of shit, it'll fuck you up. Like I'm about to start getting more left brain, man. I'm finna go back to school. Like I ain't even graduate high school, man. I'm finna go back to school because I know how to filter out the brainwashing and filter out the actual technique of the left brain that they actually use, that you actually should actually utilize as a tool to maneuver in this external realm. See, the left brain shit that they came up with has no choice but to be good, but the shit that they use it for has no choice but to make it bad. So I'm just gonna take they shit and use it for my yin realm, right brain, for what because I don't even be knowing the proper way to title my videos for it to cross certain people. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm kicking all this motherfucking science and shit right now. I don't even have the proper word to title it for the right people that I really want to see this, to actually see it. So it gets lost in the sauce. And for people like me, who's not left brain and don't know how to really externally do shit because of the collective conscious and how much energy y'all done built in and gave power to these other motherfuckers, I'm kind of powerless here. So it's gonna take somebody who powerful in one of y'all punk ass realms of realities to come into my orb, to come into my realm of reality and start to get enlightened, and then to come back in y'all realm of reality and start to kick the shit so it can spread over more light. AKA, I'm gonna need somebody who's already capable in the external realm and know how to use the left brain and know how to get views and know how to utilize the earth mechanisms and shit, and people who are nature based, and people who are, I'm gonna need some of these people to take my shit and preach my shit in order for my shit to get out. That's the only way an oversoul even know how to accommodate itself. Like me lowering myself, I hate being in this fucking body every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm witnessing the clash on such a broader level. And it hurts. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick. I throw up. You know what I'm saying? Nothing here is going to know why I'm doing this. But I know why I'm doing this. I know why it's happening to me. I know what I'm getting attacked by. I know what kind of orbs I need to put around myself. I see the friction on hand. Like, I'm a broad soul, broad spirit, condensed, packed in this little light, dense ass body, right? And when the forces inside me put out my own light, and when they start to mix in with the fabrics of these lights to create orbs and portals and shit, I create big realms and big portals and orbs. So I get attacked in big ways, but I got the big defensives also. But fuck being attacked and fuck having a defense, the friction is also big. So this friction, wear and tear on my fucking body, especially my stomach area. You know what I'm saying? Because when we start to go to the stomach, that's the real hell. You know what I'm saying? And then we start to talk about your bowel movements. That's like deities, like bow, moving and shit. You know what I'm saying? And bullow and bow. You know what I'm saying? And explosions and shit. Volcano. And that's dealing with heat and hot and hell and fire. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's acid in your stomach and shit like that. So when I'm creating big frictions, right? And I'm creating big frictions on 3D in density and earth, right? So a lot of portals get access through my lower chakras, right? So a lot of frictions is happening in my lower chakra because a lot of time my spirit gets filtered. So anytime I'm fucking, you know what I'm saying, busting a nut or this, that, and third, or you know what I'm saying, like creating children, you know what I'm saying, and that's why it's important. It's important for me to, if I am gonna release in something like a womb. Like it's not. That's why you might see videos about sperm being important and shit like that. People don't understand that. That's you creating yourself in your inner verse and bringing it in the external world. Now it's supposed to go into a womb. I'm not allowed to ejaculate or masturbate or no shit like that. You see what I'm saying? I can only take my thoughts and put it into a womb. Because if I was to ever ejaculate and shoot my shit into the external air, I might die. Or I might get severely sick. Like, it's like that for me. It's like that for me. So I don't play around with that shit. Because I'm already sick due to what I'm already knowing. And when I say sick, my sickness is not realm of reality upon y'all sickness. Okay, I need y'all to understand. I'm a crystal being. I'm dealing with levels of ascension. You know what I'm saying? So my sick is equated to 6, and I need to find 9 and 3 again. So I came back into 9, and I'm in 3D. So I'm exerting energies. So you know what I'm saying? When you exerting energies, it takes sick. This is why the sickest. Sometimes it play out in realms of realities of people being sick. Like the sickest people who are sick has things inside them that overtake the body, and the vessel is not powerful enough anymore. Everybody used as a vessel to a certain degree. I'm Uriel. I'm an oversoul. So I'm using this vessel, but the power that's inside this vessel, which is me, is too powerful for this vessel. And the way I'm exerting this energy through this vessel is through 3D. So I'm exerting a lot of it through the root chakra. So you see what I'm saying? So it's coming out through the root chakra beforehand. So this is why when you get spiritually inclined, you'll start to understand your chakras and things like that. But this is why I came to the conclusion why I can't ejaculate or masturbate. Why all my shit have to be. Now, I'm a guy, so I'm not going to tell you I never did it before. I never did it before. Yeah, as a kid, you grow up, yeah, you play with yourself. Everybody ejaculated before. But as me coming into my knowledge and getting older, as years and years and years and years, and me of understanding and seeing examples and me having kids and things. Well, I have a kid. You got to be careful with you know what I'm saying? I have a kid, you know what I'm saying? And then all females, all wombs is not deserving of your sperm. This is why they made condoms and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Really, it don't even got nothing to do with, fucking relation, like parasites and things of that nature. But it plays out after a while like that. But see, I'm just giving y'all my personal self right now. But for an example, I'm already ahead of time, and me exerting too much of this powerful energy into 3D, I'm not. A lot of times it causes a lot of friction down in my 3D area chakra, which is the root chakra. And the root chakra, see, I talked about sex, but it doesn't necessarily have to just do with sex. It's dealing with desire, willpower, passion, motivation. And a lot of these things could become sexual energy. That's why Mars rules this area right here. And this is why Mars rules Aries and Scorpios. So this is why Aries showed this externally, Mars showed this internally. This is why, Scorpio showed this internally. You know what I'm saying? Scorpio may like to be secretive in the dark a lot of times. And this is a lot of times in the dark, this is where a lot of people have sex, behind closed doors. When you talk about externally, this is why Aries like to be outgoing a lot. Aries, they may have public sex. They may be out there with their physical attributes and their sexual nature. Like a lot, they may show people what they like and who they like by playful nature and aggressive nature. So they're showing you on the outside that they want to be sexual, and the Scorpio show you on the inside that they want to be sexual, or even when it gets to desires, willpower, and passions. A Scorpio, they have desires and willpower and passions also. So if they can get it through you, they may manipulate or use you to get it. You know what I'm saying? Aries will show it externally. They may try to demand you externally or control you externally, make you do things to get what they willpower or desire, or they may try to show and do it for themselves. They may try to externally get what they desire and their willpower and their passions and lead by example and go for it themselves. And Scorpios may sit back and they may do it. They do it the same thing, just internally. They may utilize you, what you value, share values. That's the 8th house. So they may utilize what you value, or a lot of times they don't even have to like you. But if you can get them from one place to another, they utilize you, or a lot of times they utilize their own emotional stance on things and their own transformation and their own experiences to get their desires, willpower, and passions. But that's getting into another video. But for the most part, when you want to talk about, and damn, I kind of lost my place. But when you want to talk about as far as the lower chakra, when you want to talk about as far as me, I'm exerting large amount of energies in the 3D realm, where person like me, I'm supposed to sit back and not care about this shit. And that's why I came into the alignment that I came into. Because I came into the alignment, the planetary alignment is like a script. It's reminding me of things that I should experience that are reawaken me. This is why my north node is in the 8th house and my south node is in the 2nd. This is why my north node is Pisces, my south node is Virgo. You see what I'm saying? That was part of the path. You see what I'm saying? This is why my first house is Leo, and the ruler of my first house is the sun, and my sun is in the 9th house. You see what I'm saying? I have an Aries 9th house. I am an Aries. You see what I'm saying? My moon is in 8 degrees Sagittarius, right? So it conjuncts the fixed star Antares. So I'm able to access where I was at in the spectrum of light. You see what I'm saying? But who I am is a part of who I am. So that's who I was. That's my soul. You see what I'm saying? I had a large, far out, a lot of light amidst soul. So I came here a big soul. I was an oversoul. You see what I'm saying? And it was home. It was foundation. My moon is in the 4th house. I was comfortable within myself. So people who are not comfortable in themselves, they play out like that every day. They need to be led by example. They need to go into other realms of realities. They need to go into other portals. They need to see other people's lights. You know what I'm saying? Their lower souls, they need to go attach themselves to a soul group so they can get back attached to. Now, there's no right or wrong to none of this shit. I don't want you to start thinking of ascension and descension. I just need you to know this is your path. You need to cling on to other shit so you can find yourself whole again. Because if you a piece, you find your soul group, they're a piece of your soul group. They're a piece of your wholeness. And that's going to be part of the travels to get back whole again. You see what I'm saying? And the whole part, all energy wants to come back together. Period. You see what I'm saying? So that's how it plays. That's how the shit plays out. Now, everything is trying to find itself back whole. So, as this people just in search, that's the whole purpose. That's the whole point. So, at the same time, you need to understand this. When you're in this realm of reality, it's just things that's going to be blocking you because of the language you're using, the people you may be around, the vibration, the frequency that you're around, and things of that nature. So it's just it's important to cling to what you resonate with, because that's going to be part of the whole that you need to get attached back to. And this shit about to die, man. That's why I keep looking at this shit. But I don't even think I got into everything I wanted to get into, because I'm just talking right now. But I'm finna get into I'm finna get into motherfucking each zodiac sign and what the fuck you about to be dealing with for the rest of the motherfucking week. So I'm about to do Aries through motherfucking Pisces, and what y'all finna be dealing with for the motherfucking rest of the week. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air.